My love keeps no journal as to what it's done, my dear Europa. Era was supposed to go out of town this weekend, but she decided to stay home and poke our unborn child through his stomach with a letter opener. She knew I was going to throw this party, and she couldn't let me have one moment of happiness. Anyway, I hope you like your gifts.
I laughed about the dog.
No, please don't touch the dog.
Zeus, can I hear a story?
A story, you say? Then I shall regale you with the best. Everyone, we are gathered here today to celebrate Europa, and she would like for me to tell you a story. So please, if I can have your attention just for one moment. Apollo, would you mind playing some music, setting the mood for us? No, Apollo, no, just play the guitar, mate. That sounds stupid.
Oh, nice doggy.
Please, don't touch the dog. As a young boy, I used to walk through this little market down on Earth. I did a lot of people watching back then. So one day, I walked past this pet store, and this old man yells out, "Hey boy, you want to enter a contest to win a free parrot?" The words, they just sailed through one ear right out the other. You see, I like to people watch. I didn't like to people interact. The old man, he then yells out again, "Hey boy, it's a magical parrot sent here from the gods." "From the gods, you say?" I answered. The old man went on to tell me the rules of this story. He said that the parrot was cursed to a life of silence. He said, only the true one can break the curse and help the parrot to speak again. The rules of this game were simple. The contestant could take the parrot wherever they wanted, but they only had 4 hours to get the parrot to speak. And after the 4th hour, you gotta bring the parrot back to the pet store. Of course, if you cannot get the parrot to speak, you gotta pay a fee. You know, with humans, money is always involved. So, I looked at the old man and I gave him a wry smile and I said, "Challenge accepted." I had no idea where I was going to take this stupid bird, and I immediately regretted taking on this challenge. But while I was walking around, I stumbled upon this boardwalk. There was a group of people that were gathered around the end of this pier. So as the parrot and I got closer, we could hear the screams coming from the crowd. You see, a woman had fallen overboard and was swimming for her life in the harsh tides. I pushed my way through the screaming people and yelled, "Get that rope and pull her up!" Apparently, when humans get scared, they stop functioning rationally.
I love dogs.
Europa, please don't touch the dog! Where was I? Yes, the boardwalk. So, woman saved, and as I was walking away from the boardwalk, I had this moment of clarity. I knew where I was going to take the parrot. See, ladies and gentlemen, where is the best place for a miracle? That's right, a church. So, on my way to this church, I came across this construction site where 2 humans were fighting to the death. As a kid, I loved watching 2 men fight. There was a certain sport behind it. I got so invested in this battle that I found myself yelling out, "Take that brick and knock him down!" As if I was some kind of fortune teller, one of the men grabbed a brick and he smashed it right across the other man's face. I gave the man still standing a slight nod and I strolled off to the temple. At this point, it had been about 2.5 hours since the contest began, and I still had 30 minutes to get myself to the temple. I was still on a high after the fight, and I felt myself in a sporting mood. So, I took a bit of a detour. I went to a traveling carnival. You see, one of my favorite human games is called Milk Bottle Knockdown. It's where you take 6 bottles, you stack them up in a pyramid, and the contestant has a ball in his hand and he throws it at the bottles, tries to knock them all down. It's not as easy as you think, ladies and gentlemen. Then, if you knock them all down, the attendant will yell out, "You hit the big one!" That's my favorite bit right there.
Ooh, beautiful. beautiful puppy.
No! Oh, and you did it. You did it. You touched the dog, didn't you? Oh, please, Europa, please. Please don't touch the dog again. So, I was standing there, ball in hand, parrot on shoulder. I threw the ball with the force of 1,000 bulls, and I shattered every bottle. The game attendant, he just stood there with a stupid look on his face, his mouth wide open, just in total shock of what I just did. And after what felt like an eternity, the human woke up from his stupor and with gusto he yells out, "You hit the big one!" I couldn't help but smile in my own glory as I walked away. And then, ladies and gentlemen, that's when the fear hit me. I looked at the sun and I realized I had only 1 hour left to get this parrot to speak. I needed to get to that church. As I arrived at the church, I felt a little defeated. I'm not used to losing, you see, and I felt fear, I felt anger. So entering the church, this wave of relief had just washed over me as I stood under the statue of Uranus. I felt my grandfather looking at me, telling me there's nothing to worry about. He called me to sit and listen to the preacher, so I did. The preacher, he was shouting passionately to his congregation. He said, "The devil lives in hell! Get her up and pull him up! Get her up and pull him up!" The parrot yelled from my shoulder. I was taken aback. The parrot talked. The preacher pushed through this disturbance, though, and spoke again. "God lives in heaven," the preacher said with a slight smile on his face. "Take a brick and knock him down! Take a brick and knock him down!" the parrot exclaimed. I was in utter shock. The preacher had this mad look in his eyes, and with the book that he had in his hand, he threw it right at the parrot's head. So I swiftly moved out the way, and the book slammed right into this rather large lady behind me. "You are the big one! You are the big one!" the parrot blurted out as the book fell to the floor. And then the parrot, he turned into this radiant greyhound dog with this halo-ish hue covering its entire body. And then the dog...
I shouldn't touch that dog. I shouldn't touch that dog.